Okay.
All right. Yeah,
Ready?
let's do it.
Okay.
Welcome to episode 66 of Crosstown Cardboard, which is twice the number of Larry Bird and Patrick Ewing, a couple of our favorite guys here on Crosstown Cardboard, and a little math for our math teacher. That's Craig at New York City Sports Cards. And he's also a soccer coach in New York City. He's originally from Long Island. And then you have me, the sports storyteller down here in Greenville, South Carolina, and sports card storyteller as well in my free time on the podcast at Carmine's Cards, originally from Ossining, New York, home of Sing Sing Prison. And New York is very close to the heart for this episode because it's titled A Week at Bleecker, a great trading area, card store in New York City. Craig talks about it all the time, which our faithful listeners know. And if you don't know, you're about to know, because this guy spent a week at Bleecker. He went on a field trip with his card club. He also had a showcase, which is much different than a show itself. We'll get into that, and we'll also get into me going to a show here in the upstate of South Carolina. For the first time, I've been to a show since the National. So I had a little gap there, getting adjusted to my new environment where I've been for 5 months. And actually, Craig told me about this card show because he's so well connected in the hobby. So before we get into those things, that was just a table of contents for what we have coming up. Craig, how are you doing? And let's start off, because this is really going through your week at Bleecker, and then me also going to a card show for the first time in a while. So we talked about the excitement level going into the couple events you had at Bleecker. How did it measure up in reality to the excitement leading up to it?
It was a pretty fun week, and everything was executed and some. Executed according to plan and some. I'm also really happy that you were able to go to that show in South Carolina. I did not realize that was your first show since National.
Yes.
But happy I was able to spread the good word and tell you about it and that you went. But yeah, I had a good week. Good week with cards, good week going to Bleecker Trading for a couple of events, as you said. I'm at that point of the year, teaching-wise, we're all a little fatigued. We're hanging in till the end, but this time next week, I'll be in Florida, in Miami, for some much needed rest and recovery. Until then, we have some sports card stories to tell. So let's tell them.
That's right. Rest, relaxation, and also card shop plans that you have for Miami.
Already have one planned.
Every time you take a trip, it's without fail.
If it's convenient, of course, but this time around, I think it's going to work. But anyway, let's keep it about New York City for now.
Okay.
Wednesday, this past Wednesday, December. I'm losing track of the days. 13th, Wednesday, December 13th. Took my trading card club. So when you're listening to this, a week ago,
right?
About a week ago,
Bobby Shmurda.
Shout out to him. I have 10 to 11 very dedicated members of my card club, which I teach math at the Business of Sports School. I run an after-school program trading card club, and this year I have 10 to 12 very dedicated students. Part about being a public school teacher and a coach is sometimes you got to worry about the commitment of kids. You got to really get them to buy into things. You have soccer practice. It's not as simple as here's practice. It's constant reminders that there's practice going on. For some reason, this year with Card Club, there's none of that. And there's this level of just kind of trust and buy-in that the kids who have joined up and have done it from the beginning, they love it. And I don't have to worry whether they're going to show up, whether they're going to be into it, because they're all in. So when I told them that we had an opportunity after meeting 4 or 5 times this school year to go to a card shop, obviously they were excited. They got me their permission slips. And I had gone to Bleecker for a card club field trip a couple years ago, and it was great. So I figured this one was going to be just as great, especially with all the new exciting things Bleecker's got going on, and this being my card club's first exposure to a card shop outside of what we do in my classroom.
Right. This is like getting thrown into the wild after being incubated, and now, you're actually out in the real world seeing how it kind of works for, outside of the classroom. That's pretty cool.
So it was fun. And the best way I would describe the field trip itself is operated this very similar way to the way I run the card club in my classroom. People will ask me what kind of curriculum. Well, other educators will say, can you share your curriculum? What do you use within the content of your classroom. And there's some like structured activities, but for the most part, it's kind of just free flowing. You create an inclusive environment that the kids are excited about. You have conversation, you share stories, you show cards, and kind of organically information gets spread. And that's kind of how the field
Right.
trip was as
Right.
well.
Is that there's a type of learning that's called, I mean, like it's like hands-on, but
Hands-on learning, right? Yeah.
experiential
Sure.
learning,
Sure, sure,
that
sure.
kind of thing.
Yeah. So if you've never been to Bleecker, it's a storefront in the West Village. Carmine, are you familiar? I mean, you grew up not far from New York City.
No, I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar. I'm a suburbs guy.
Okay. West Village, poppin' area, very hip. People love to live there. A lot of bars, a lot of restaurants, a lot of culture,
Okay.
a lot of it's not like the numbers, 6th Avenue, 42nd Street. It's all names there. So it's kind of just like a bunch of randomness.
Hold on.
Different streets.
Tell me one of those names is Bleecker.
It is very good. You nailed it. So the famous Bleecker Street, very well known. It's right on the corner of Bleecker and Christopher. That's where it gets the name from. So awesome neighborhood. We took the one train down from school, got there in 20 minutes. We pull up to the storefront, and the first thing you see is Bleeker's new card shop that opened up. So they're usually just like a social spot to hang out, social club, if you will. And about maybe 3-4 months now, they turned the front of the store into a storefront, wax, singles. So this is my students' very first moment of walking into what an LCS looks like.
What were some of the responses you were picking up when the high school kids walked into the storefront for the first time?
A lot of just looking around, a lot of pure excitement over just seeing a player that they like. When we get donations, Kobe Bryant cards go like that. They see a Kobe Bryant card right there. Everyone's eyes are attracted to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it was good. They got to look around for a little bit. We go to the back, and Jake, who you've met Jake.
Yep.
Many a times, just gave them a rundown of what they do and, picking up cards and buying and selling. But more than just that, but really educating our students on the brand and the business side of it, because it's more than just a shop, right? Bleecker is the brand. So there's partnerships and everything involved. And listen, we showed up at 3. We stayed till 5:30.
Wow, good for them for being so generous with their time. And Jake, to talk to your kids as basically like a guest speaker at the club, but instead, you went to him and he spoke in his own, dojo setup there. But yeah, no, I could tell that he would be that generous like that when he gave me a Bleecker Trading hat at the National, which I've been wanting one. But okay, so
it was a team effort.
What was like the most interesting thing that Jake said, do you think, to the kids, or something they would take away from his, kind of educating them on the card shop business?
You know what? I should have came prepared. I had my students fill out a worksheet where they had to ask questions. So I'm gonna get that the next opportunity I have. But after we were talking, we ate pizza. Listen, hospitality is such a big part of owning a card store, right? So I could say with confidence, the 12 students that were there, 11 current card club members and 2 alumni came back.
Yeah, you mentioned. Yep.
Jake and Jack, who works in front of the store. Jake's managing. Mike is in the back, comping everything. They each spit a little bit of game and provided information regarding what they do. All my students were left with packs to open, cards of players that they like, free pizza. Like, hospitality is so important. And to put it really simple, from their experience and learning a little bit about what they do and just the vibes that they presented, that is 13 new kids that are lifelong now Bleecker fans and will definitely be back.
That's great. That sounds like an awesome time there. And for them to welcome you guys and allow you to come in, and then for each individual person to tell each student about a little piece of their job and what they bring to the table is part of the business and sports school, and what you want your kids to get out of it. I can't think of a better business and sports thing than a card club, and then taking a trip to a card store and talking about the sports, the athletes, and the business side at the same time.
Yeah. So I have them ask questions, right? For example.
Oh, you got the worksheets?
Oh yeah, I got them with me. I'm like somewhat kind of sort of prepared for this.
Okay.
What skills or knowledge does it take to succeed at your job? Knowing what you're doing in your job. Well, that was a pretty obvious answer, but what's the most rewarding or interesting parts of the job? They have a lot of events and connections.
Okay.
Right. what skills or knowledge does it take to succeed in your job? Skills and knowledge that takes to succeed in your job is learning from everything, be a sponge, seek all information, and always be inspired by others. That was a message that they took out of it. I got the student responses right here.
Great. That's a great thing to take away.
But yeah, so they hooked them up with a lot of wax to open, some cards, knowledge about how to treat the customer right, hospitality, and they had a good time looking at cards. Little by little, we take a card out of the showcase, and Jake will kind of just educate them on what this card is all about, and you just learn a little piece here and there.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, they took a lot out of it.
So anything else you want to talk about from that field trip on Wednesday before we go to another card situation in a different classroom than your own on Thursday?
Yes. I do also have to shout out Cards and Coffee, who's right next door, because it was a 2-part field trip. So we stopped by there for a little bit to see the team, Aaron, Chris, Emily, and they hooked up all my students with goodie bags filled with packs and supplies. So grateful for them as well. They loved it. It was, as a kid say, it was a W field trip.
W. Mark it down in the win column, definitely in many different aspects. But good for you for helping provide an opportunity to expose that to them and have them get that new element of learning about the hobby. Sure. And you get to see it vicariously through them. I mean, I can't imagine what it was like for you to know them and then see what it was like for them to experience like the joy and the excitement of it in a card store.
Yeah, they were opening 91, 92 Upper Deck basketball, and it felt like such good times where no one was chasing the big prospect or a shiny card. Everybody just wanted to pull a Michael Jordan base card. So it was so exciting when somebody actually did, and the kids were so thrilled about it.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. Okay. So should we move on to Thursday?
Yeah, I want to get into the actual cards. So I'll try to make this one a little quick, but a buddy of, we'll say ours on Facebook.
Yeah.
Andrew, we don't have to say last names on here. Andrew, always posting, as you know, buy, sell, trade posts. Like, what's your experience with him?
It's been good. It's been reasonable, and I haven't bought anything from him in a while, but, we would sell things to each other and, give a good deal. Yeah.
But he actually is a public school teacher like myself, and his school is 15 blocks from mine by coincidence.
Wow.
So a year ago, we made our first deal, and I walked up 15 minutes, and we exchanged the deal in person. So what are the chances someone I randomly met on Facebook through a popular Facebook buy, sell, trade group is another teacher? He's also a soccer coach like myself, and his school is a 15-minute walk from mine.
I think you might have something going on with your Facebook settings where, it's attracting people who are close to your location because, the Denver guy who you got the 2 Ichiro cards from, he was right near you in Colorado for some reason, just when you were visiting. Either that or, somebody above might be the card, the card gods.
Hobby higher power.
Yeah.
But anyway, Andrew had a couple cards that I liked. I need inventory because I had the Bleecker event yesterday that I set up at. We have Culture Collision in January that we're setting up at. So I need stuff, right? Carmine, I always say that. Give me stuff.
My God. When I listened back to the podcast and I heard you saying I need stuff, I laughed the same way that I did like on the episode. I'm like, this guy just saying he needs stuff, but I get what you're saying.
But what does that actually mean? When you're set up, you don't want an empty showcase. You want, by stuff, obviously I mean inventory, but I want the inventory to be stuff that I like. Okay. That represents me.
Not just any stuff.
Not just any stuff. And let me tell you, recently, and you know this, I've pivoted as far as what my inventory looks like.
Yeah. Well, I just love when you get fired up. You're getting Atlanta stuff. I mean, I got an Atlanta card here that I got this weekend. This Deion Sanders rookie, but
not just Atlanta cards. Just real simple.
No.
Autographs, patches, Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Right. So Andrew on Facebook, right? He had this really nice sweet spot, Reggie Jackson, 3-color patch that I really liked from him. He had a Doc Gooden autograph from Topps Archives. Figured, hey, setting up at a New York City show, got to have some Mets there as well. And I'm a Mets fan. Yep. So he said, you got time Thursday? Come to my classroom. I'll walk you up. I had like 30, 40 minutes to kill. He's like, I'll show you all my stuff. And you know what? We'll see if we can't cut a deal. And
you were like, hold on, you have stuff? You're like,
you have stuff? I need stuff.
Hey, we can work something here.
But anyway, he walked me up to my classroom. I walk in and there's, tons of cards out. And my first question was like, I know you keep this in your classroom all the time. Do your students know that this is there? He's like, no, keep it tucked away. So he keeps his cards in his classroom tucked away, and he takes it out when he needs to do his card stuff.
Why are they in the classroom? Maybe his wife.
Storage.
Away from the wife, I bet.
Maybe that. Maybe we just have a lot of space in our classroom. But anyway,
Okay.
Sat down with Andrew. We just chilled. We talked hobby. We talked life. Obviously, we have a lot in common being public school teachers and soccer coaches. And sifted through all of his cards, picked out this one I like, that one I like for various reasons. And I ended up leaving there with 13 new cards. We struck a deal for $560. We went through each one, just good, open, honest conversation. Like, what does this go for? What is he into it at? What do I need to be at? And it was just a very fun, honest, fair, productive deal.
That sounds
with a friend.
outstanding. Yeah. So what'd you get?
All right. The big item.
Or at least a few.
Yeah. The big item from that one was 2007 Topps Triple Threads, Aaron Judge, rookie, on-card autograph, triple game used, all 3 pinstripes out of 75.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That's basically an RPA.
It is not a patch though. Jersey.
No,
still,
not a
whatever,
patch.
But
yeah. What would you can't RJA, I guess. But it's really, that's what did you value? What did you value that one at?
I think we had it roughly $350 maybe. There was a BGS 9 sale and a PSA 1010 sale. Just to give you an idea of the other cards that were in it, though, here is that Reggie Jackson patch I was talking about.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
That reminds me of your Acuna.
Very good. Yeah, stuff like that. A Bill Walton autograph, an Ozzie Smith autograph, John Smoltz autograph. So just
Bill Walton signs so much. His autographs are so cheap for how much of a legend he is.
That's what I'm saying.
And still broadcast. I mean, still relevant today.
Got a Bernard King autograph in there. We got Clint Dempsey match worn patch autograph. So just a variety of things that I like. We were able to strike a deal. I leave his classroom. I walk home through Central Park. It was a good day.
Yeah, that's cool. And that gives you like a community feel to the hobby too. I mean, you walk to somebody else's classroom. You're both teachers, and then you walk back with cards. It's like, remembering walking to the store as a kid, any store, but it just gives you like a community, like a homey, comforting neighborhood feel to it, which is a lot of the emotions that come along with the hobby anyway. So
yeah. And that's kind of how the hobby is, right? The connections, the people, the community. I'm just fortunate I live in a place where seems like everything's so close together.
Right. You're packed in there.
Yeah.
You're packed in there. But that's awesome. Good for you guys. I mean, I imagine, walking back, you were walking like John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever, in the opening scene.
Playing the song and everything.
Did you feel good about where you were at financially with the deal?
100%. I'm like, I have a feeling, foreshadowing, I have a feeling I'll be able to sell this Judge to pay for most of this lot. But I do have to credit my guy Andrew, by the way, who does a ton of buying on Facebook.
Yeah.
He moves. I'm not going to get into numbers, but he moves inventory. He buys that X percentage. He's got his repackers that he sells to, and this is the type of stuff he's working with. Hall of Fame, jerseys, autographs, patches.
Yeah. Was he able to give you like a little bit of a better deal because he, knows what he bought it at, obviously, and can, I've seen people who buy stuff and then they flip it to other sellers because they know they'll be able to make like 5%. You know what I mean? If they're like, I'm going to buy this at 80%. And if I have somebody who buys stuff at 85, I can just move a big bulk of it. The other stuff that I think I can profit more off of, maybe I save. And then I move off a big bulk of it for 5%, 5% over and over, rinse and repeat.
That's essentially what he does. And those little profits allows him to basically be into his current inventory for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the roll, like the compound interest.
Exactly. So that's why he's able to give me a better deal on stuff. I'm able to go to a show and look, I know we're obviously talking a lot about flipping here, but it's part of the game, right?
Yeah. But you talked about the nostalgic innocence of it in the trip to the card show or the card shop with, the field trip. So, it's
and I was able to get a gift for you from that lot as well.
Ooh. Okay.
I told you what it was already?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You serious?
Well, you said we were going to exchange gifts at Culture Collision.
You have no idea what I got from him?
Oh no, you told me. Yes, you did. You did.
Okay.
You did.
But there's a
Cool.
there's a little something to it that I'm excited. So yeah, that was a really fun deal to be able to do that in person with another teacher. Got some cool cards. I got Hall of Fame stuff. Yeah, that set me up nicely for Saturday. But I want to hear about your show Saturday first.
Yeah, yeah. Can you explain how I got to the how I got to this show? How I became aware of this show?
I saw on Mealy Pop's Instagram that they're set up at a card show in South Carolina. This was Saturday morning, maybe. And I just sent you a DM, a screenshot, and I said, "What's up? You going to this?" And turns out you had some time to kill that day.
I did, and I had no idea that there was a show there. But thankfully, are in touch with the online community. You're on the gram.
The gram, yep.
You participate in the Mealy Pops sales, and were able to let me know. Yeah, now I remember what you got me. Should I show it?
Yeah, you might as well show it.
I found a picture of it. It's this JJ Redick Contenders. Is it on card?
No, it's a sticker.
It's a sticker. It's okay. I have
But
sticker autos of JJ.
there's something to it. You want to know the surprise that I didn't know until afterwards?
No, save the surprise for Christmas.
You could probably figure it out, though.
It's numbered out of 25.
Okay.
Okay, what's the surprise?
You
No,
wanna know?
all right, tell me.
Jersey number.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. I didn't know that till afterwards.
There you go. I do like the numbering. I like the number 1, the jersey number, or the last number in the serial number to match
Bookends.
it all up.
I think
The
they
bookends.
bookends is what they call it. There we go.
That's a good card term, bookends. We'll put that in our card urban dictionary.
Nice. So yeah, you went to the show. You had time. Tell me about it.
I did. I was so juiced up when you told me, bro. Because I haven't been to a card show. Like I said, I've been dry out here. It's been dry. So I needed to wet my beak, get back into the card show scene. And so yeah, I worked in the afternoon, evening. So I had a couple hours to head out there. So you told me about the card show. I made myself a sandwich for work, and I drove down to the Wells Fargo. I took out $500 from my savings, had that in cash, because I said it's going to be easier to do these deals. Cash is king. Don't want to work with the Venmo, PayPal, any type of situation that can deter somebody from making a deal with me. So I got the 500. I drove out to Spartanburg, South Carolina, and the show was hosted by Boiling Springs Sports Cards, which I did a tailgate tour at Boiling Springs High School for my actual job. Unfortunately, they lost that game. They almost won. Anyway, double overtime. It was actually a great game. But the reason why I'm talking about them is because it's Boiling Springs Sports Cards that hosted it. So I'm in there, and I'm just getting this, lay of the land. I'm walking through. They probably had maybe like 100 tables. It's actually a decent sized show.
Yeah, that's a good show.
At a fairground.
100 tables is solid.
Yeah. It was probably between 75 and 100. And just walking around and, seeing cards that I liked and logging it in my head. Like, okay, I like that. Let me walk away for a little bit, comp it, pull up Card Ladder, search it a little bit, see what my plan's going to be to go and maybe negotiate for it, and be fully educated before talking about the card, with the dealer, so we can move quick once, the candle's lit. So I saw this card that's now in my PC, and I think you saw this before. This Walt Clyde Frazier, 1970, so second year, tops, tall boy, in a PSA 5. Great centering, great registration. It really is a good photo, and just a really cool card.
Great card.
It was. How much do you think I paid for this?
$50.
30.
All day long.
The last comp was 25, but I wasn't gonna, wring the guy's hand over it. But
easy yes to the Knicks PC.
It was great, bro. Look at this. Look at Clyde, first of all, with the stash and the mini fro.
Well, he was New York.
And the sideburns. This might be the coolest guy of all time.
Oh man, I should have taken a picture. Bleecker has a photo of him. It's a signed photo. It's like a picture of his profile. It's him driving in a car with like his brown hat and everything. But I digress. We love Clyde. I digress.
Yeah. And we've shown photos of you with Clyde. Was it with your grandmother as well?
Yep. Just Couple, my grandma and Clyde, just a couple fashion icons.
And don't sell yourself short either, bro. So anyway, I picked this one up. That was fun. Really cool too. I took your advice. I'm also learning from Crosstown Cardboard here, because when you said your goal at shows is to pick up a card for the Knicks PC and pick up a card for the regular PC, along with whatever flipping, purchasing to fund the hobby moves that you're making, I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. That is a great idea. And especially for the Knicks PC, I really want to pick that up. So, this is actually, I'll save this story for the end because you can comment more on it. But I got 3 cards from the same guy. Very easy to deal with, this one dealer. I saw this 1-of-1 Muhammad Ali. The brand is Bar, so it's kind of like a, lesser common brand, but it says it's JSA certified as a robe that was worn by Muhammad Ali.
JSA is legit.
Yeah. It was in an exhibition robe.
Listen,
between
JSA is
some
best
kind
in
of
the
thing.
game when it comes to that, bar none.
Yeah. Great reference of Bar.
Thanks.
Hopefully that's not where you headed before filming this pod. No, I'm just kidding. You're a responsible adult. But the robe, bro.
Yeah, that's cool.
Big piece
Really
of
cool.
big piece of the robe. This is cool, right?
And I know it's kind of an obscure card and brand, but it's a certified piece of his robe, man.
Yeah.
Love Muhammad Ali. Love Cassius Clay. Read have his Cassius Clay rookie card. Read the Muhammad Ali autobiography. So I can respect to the significance of that card right there.
Yeah. And so what do you think this is something, because there's not that many comps. It's a 1-of-1. It's Muhammad Ali. It's shiny. It'll get people to stop in the showcase. Like we said, we're preparing for Culture Collision. We'll be together for 3 days in late January in Atlanta. We'll put out a vlog. I know everybody's worried. Don't worry. We're gonna put out a vlog. Our second ever time meeting, and also our second time together at a card show. So what do you think this went for? True.
$100.
No, bro. 20 bucks. 20
really?
bucks.
Wow.
Yes. The guy said 20. Huh? The guy said 25. I mean, there's kind of like some similar. I think I saw one for like 40 or 50. But I think this is so cool. I could put it in my case for 100 and it'd be reasonable. So,
good find.
Yeah, good thanks, find. Bro. So the guy said, so this is how the negotiation went. I'll take you, to the table right now, a little reporting on the card show. So the guy was like, oh, I was like, how much you want on this? The Muhammad Ali. And he's like, oh, 25. I'm like, would you do 20? He's like, yeah, sure. But I didn't want to take here's where I feel like I was a little bit of a seasoned purchaser. I didn't take the money out yet because I could have paid him on the spot and then kept looking. So instead of closing that deal, I said, well, if there's something else in this case that I like, we can combine something. Why would I shoot my ammo right now and then not have that bargaining chip to combine this with something else later? So I patted myself on the back for a little experienced seller move. So that's exactly what happened. Then I saw this not Muhammad Ali, different boxer. We had the Muhammad Ali
boxing mindset.
Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas, dual leaf auto pro set.
Cool.
From the, of course, heavyweight title fight that is one of the biggest upsets in not just boxing, but sports history, when Buster Douglas took down Mike Tyson, when, Iron Mike didn't quite take Buster seriously and he got busted because he was a little out of shape. So I had this for 20. I said, what do you got on the Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson duel? He's like, I got about 100 on that. And I said, well, would you do 100 for both? Because I still had the bargaining chip. Because I didn't pay him originally for the $20 Ali. He said, yeah, sure, I'll do that.
100 so clean too, right? Just like clean. Boom, 100
clean rack, just one rack. No, I'm just kidding. I think I had 20s. It wasn't as cool. But anyway, so I didn't pay him yet because I like this guy's stuff. He had a lot of, stuff. So the Hall of Fame autos is what, attracts us, me and you in general, just because we're kind of sports historians also. So I saw this, and I love the Epic Signature set as well, but I saw this Terry Bradshaw Epic Signatures auto. And the Epic Signatures set is from 1999, this one. So, 25-year-old card almost. Terry Bradshaw, of course, one of the all-time winners. 4 Super Bowls, I think, with the Steelers.
You're the football guy. You would know better than me.
He's big time, and he's a character. He's still relevant on TV today. So I was like, well, what do you got on that? He's like, oh, I think about 100. I saw the last sale was 107 on Card Ladder, but before that, the sales are like 225, 240, 175. So I was telling my buddy that, now that I'm getting back into the selling mindset, I have one argument or one case to make for buying a card, and then I have a different case to make when I'm selling a card. You know what I mean? So if I'm buying it, I'm going to try to go off that last comp.
Sure.
And he's totally within his right to say, well, the last 5, I'd rather take an average of those because they're quite a bit higher. Some are like double the last comp. He would be totally within his right to do that. Of course, as a seller, I want to get the best deal and reference, some of the sales that are going to get me a better price. That's always how it works. So I saw the last comp was 107, and he said, yeah, I do about 100. I'm like, okay, that's fair because the other comps are higher, and plus his is slightly below the last comp anyway. And I was like, well, all right, would you do, 75? He's like, oh, no, that's a little too low for me. I was like, okay, I get that. Could you meet somewhere in the middle? He's like, yeah, I do 85. I'm like, perfect.
Done. Easy.
Done. Done. So I got, basically 80 to 85% comps on the Mike Tyson and the Buster Douglas dual auto and the Terry Bradshaw Epic Signatures. And then who knows what the Ali's worth. I'll probably price it at like 75 or 100, catch some eyes, start some conversations at a Culture Collision. So I feel like, the New York hustle in me is coming back a little bit at the card show.
Love to hear that. Listen, it's like, I think we have to embrace the fact that we love our collection and we're collectors. We love talking about the cards themselves, like something special about this particular card, the set, where it came from and everything. But with all of that, I think we're both pretty business savvy people, and I'm okay admitting the fact that part of this is a business too.
Right. And the business part, I don't feel like there's like some type of shaming about it. Like, I don't know why, because people just want to, critique everything. But, I'm excited and proud to enjoy the business part of it too, because
it's fun.
You get a good deal. Yeah, it's fun. You're using your mind, you're being creative, you're using your communication, your people skills, you're putting your money on the line, you're taking a risk, you're seeing if you can, be smart enough to make a profit and savvy enough to make something happen. It's great. So those 2 lanes, it's just a great balance.
Yeah, and I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but post Bleecker Showcase Spectacular, which I'll get into soon, I was just sitting with my buddy Adam Schraman. We were like 2 of the last guys there, just hanging, shooting shit, talking about the cars we picked up. And I said to him, I turned to him, I swear to God, I said something very similar to what the point you're making was that, yes, this is a hobby. Yes, this is really fun. And we're spending our whole day here. The fact that these business transactions and cash being exchanged is happening, it almost legitimizes the whole thing. Is that fair to say? Like,
yeah, it's like if there's no money going on, it's like you're Sid in Toy Story, or I'd rather be Andy. Sid is the villain, but you're Andy in Toy Story, and you're just playing with toys for no reason as a kid.
Well, it's not no reason because we do love
it's not no reason, but now that you have money involved in it, now it can seem much more like an adult activity.
Fair point.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, the childlike joy mixed with the adult-like financial gain is a great, middle ground to have in a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. So before we get on, I cannot wait to hear about this showcase and how your Knicks PC was received, because I saw you post a story photo of your Knicks showcase or what you were going to bring.
That was all of it.
And I had to screenshot it just, out of my own enjoyment of it and to have to look at, because I've never seen your Knicks PC all together like that.
That's pretty much all of it right there. Yeah.
So I can't wait to talk about that part. I just want to tell you one story about this show and see what you think about it. Okay.
Talk to me.
So I'm perusing. I looked into every single showcase, just because you never know what you're going to find. You know,
Multiple times?
opportunity. Sorry, go ahead.
Multiple times?
No, just once. I went
Okay.
once through, and I saw this one guy had like some Hall of Fame autos. He had a couple Larry Bird autos, and so I was looking at his stuff. You know, cool on card basketball autos and everything, and I saw this Deion Sanders Topps rookie card. You know, the Atlanta Falcons. I know we're going to Culture Collision, but just what an icon. You know, now at Colorado and
For sure.
you know, Jackson State. So great, great story. Obviously, a massive figure in the country. But I was more, you know, also eavesdropping and learning on the conversation that he was having with somebody else. So this guy comes up. I really got a kick out of this conversation, and he says, you know, they're stuck between like $35 and $40 on this card. The dealer's like, oh, I can't, 40 is my best. 40 is the best I can do. The other guy's like, well, I really want to, you know, 35. I really would love to be at 35. You know, that's what I feel like, you know, would be fair. And the guy's like, I can't. They're kind of at a stalemate over the $5.
Yeesh.
So the guy who's trying to buy the card, he's like, I can do 36. I can do 36. And the guy, so the dealer's like defeated. He can't believe that this guy won't come up another $5. And he's like, you know what? Fine. You know, I'll do that. And then the seller, or I'm sorry, the buyer who, you know, offered 36, after the dealer accepted his offer, the buyer was like, yeah, I got to do 36 or else I'd have to break out my big bills. And the dealer goes, well, I can exchange any bill. You know, that's not a problem. And now I'm like, oh, geez. Now the deal was already closed at 36, and now it's like, well, you could have paid me 40 if you just took out your bigger bills. So now I'm like, I'm looking at this Deion Sanders card. I'm like, the attitude of this conversation and negotiation between the dealer and seller had the same pizzazz as Deion Sanders himself. So, you know, I was just getting a big time entertainment out of it. So then it got even funnier though. The guy who bought the card, who offered the 36, was like, yeah, you know, this is going to be a great, you know, present for my grandson. You know, this is really going to be great. And I was like, you're about to lose this deal for your grandson over $5. But now he only came up $1 on the dealer. And now the dealer, like now he's trying to share this moment with the dealer, like an excitement, but it's not quite there because he was so penny pinching. So anyway, I'll wrap up this story, but it was just an interesting negotiation of what I, you know, was kind of eavesdropping on. So I get over for the Deion, right? And I'm looking at comps because I don't really know what this Deion Sanders rookie card's worth. And I saw like $3, $4, $2, whatever. Very, you know, highly printed card. And so I'm like, you know, he's like, I'm like, how much on this? He's like, $10. I was like, could you do 5? He's like, no, I got to be at 10. I got to be at 10. You know, I got to stick to 10. That's what I have into it. And I said, you know what? I'll give you 10. So
I don't want to do this whole song and dance with you. You take your 10.
Yeah. No. I knew, you know, he had to be at that number. And I said, and that makes up, you know, $1 more than what that guy scammed you out of in the last deal. You know, I said, now you have a $1 profit from, you know, the $36 offer that guy gave you when you wanted 40. And he started laughing. He's like, yeah, I know. He's like, they're beating me up out here, you know? And I'm like, but I was happy to, I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back, but I'm like,
you're a great guy.
I want him to see there's like some good in the hobby. Like, I don't need to haggle you over $4 or $5, you know? So, you know, on a card that I just got, cause it was fun. So, but I was joking with the guy. I was like, you know, about that guy, like saying that card was for his grandson. I was like, he didn't love his grandson that much. He was about to lose it over $4
for real.
And the guy was laughing. But what do you think about that exchange? Because I found it very interesting with how tense and like penny pinching the negotiate. Some people love to get a deal. I mean, I love to get a deal too. But if you're buying it for your grandson, like, come on, $4 or $5,
In that context, yes, you do it. Because I had a few back and forth, mostly with kids this weekend when I was making deals over $5. And I typically, maybe we'll compare apples and oranges here because it's me and a young kid. And if it's over $5 and we're back and forth, I'll just give in to him.
Right.
So who has the upper hand? The dealer probably does have the upper hand in your situation. But at the same time, no one's willing to budge. So they're both at fault, I guess, for it not being a smooth deal.
Yeah. I just got a big kick over the 36.
Yeah.
Not even 37. And then the cringe, I got a little bit of a cringe when he said, I'd have to break out my big bills. And the guy was like, yeah, I can exchange any bill. Don't worry. And it's like the deal's already done though. So now it's.
You told me that earlier.
Yeah. But anyway, so that was my trip to the card show. I'm really happy you let me know about it. I was so excited driving over there, like a childlike, excitement and just really exploring and having some alone time and talking to people and, PC pickup with the tall boy Walt 1970. So
I like that. I like that Walt a lot.
Yeah. So very cool, bro. Very cool. So so that was Saturday for me. So what about Saturday for you? Take me through the difference between a show and a showcase. I'm also at Bleecker again. We're back at Bleecker.
So I don't think we have to describe what a show looks like because we all know what a show looks like. Bleecker doesn't really have shows. They, like I said, they run a regular shop and they have trade nights. The trade nights it's just open space and it's kind of a free for all. You take whatever real estate you can. There's pockets of people here, groups of people there. Typically, the soccer people are always in the backyard of Bleecker. There's a little patio area out in the back.
What do they call it? The pitch? We're heading to the pitch.
That's good. I'm gonna try to use that in the future. Okay. But there's only the second time they've done a showcase spectacular, which is just like trade nights, where it's an open event to the public. There's pizza. The shop is open. But they have a few allotted showcase spaces, and I was just very grateful that they offered me one of them.
Yeah, I know that's a nice company to be featured in that showcase. Black Jaded Wolf, Wiz the Collector.
Yeah, and it wasn't a full. Keep in mind, we're talking like 10 tables, so definitely not enough for a whole card show. But they typically do trade nights on a Tuesday or a Wednesday night. This was Saturday, 2 to 6 p.m. And let me tell you what really contributed to this being a great day and helped the event reach its full potential.
Okay.
It was 55 and sunny Saturday afternoon in the West Village, 2 to 6 p.m. People walking around, like the neighborhood was buzzing. So the vibe, like you knew it was going to be a win, but they put a sign out front, like a little chalkboard type thing that like a coffee shop might have.
Yeah.
Where imagine a clothing store says pop-up shop. You as a random walk-by person might walk in and see what it's about, right?
Right.
So they had a sign that said Showcase Spectacular. So to someone who doesn't know about cards, we're in the West Village. It's got to be a cool shop. Showcase Spectacular. Sure, let me check this out here.
Yeah, great alliteration, and great tease language to intrigue you to get in there.
So you walk in. I'll try to give you some visuals. You can't really tell here, but this is the Bleecker's front room. That's all the wax and singles. They got some value boxes.
Well lit. I like the lighting on that.
Oh, it was lit. And then this is their inside room. You could see Sharon, Black Jaded Wolf there. I'm somewhere in the back. And like not a huge setup, right?
Yeah.
6-7 tables. A few more tables in the back. But it was still like you had your regular audience there for trade night. Maybe not as packed for a trade night because it was a weekend, right? People do stuff on the weekends. But the difference was it was bright out for most of it, because of the hours that it ran. You had your regular card people coming in and out making deals. And you had some people walking in for the first time, which as Bleecker, the store, you love to see that. You love to see people checking it out for the first time. And I would, just like it was for my field trip, I would describe the event as very welcoming and inclusive to anyone. Like if you walked into Bleecker for the first time and all you saw was that storefront, you saw a handful of vendors in the main room and in the backyard, you'd leave there thinking like, this place is cool. I would come back.
Yeah. What a great idea to publicize the new storefront area opening up and then get new people in there who haven't experienced the hobby before. I mean, that first engagement, and to have it be with a handpicked group of people like you who they included and are showing off their cards, almost like a museum type of feel, along with the buying and selling that I'm sure was going on a little bit too.
I would actually say I was probably the only one who treated. Granted, I had a showcase and a half. I had a lot of space, so
Okay.
I treated like the top third of one showcase as my Knicks cards, as my museum. Nobody else really did that. Everybody else just shouldn't say that, but others treated it just like, here are my cards. Let's buy, sell, and trade.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were more, but you went with the showcase angle. So, along with the buying, selling, trading, tell me about the experience, and I'll pull up the picture here because I mentioned the screenshot. What were some of the conversations you had about your Knicks PC that you enjoyed?
Before I get into that, I do want to shout out Sam, who you're familiar, obviously, with the media company Overtime. They have their Overtime Elite League.
Yes.
So Sam is Overtime Polls on Instagram, and he also shares a card page with his dad, West End Cards. His dad has like a really nice vintage card collection. So Sam and his dad were set up there. They had a showcase together, father son. So I thought that in itself was super cool. But the Knicks, I think the display looked great. You looked at the showcase, you could obviously tell that I was a Knicks fan. It made for some good conversation. I had to tell some people, like, hey, sorry, these 3 rows are not for sale, but please admire these if you are a Knicks fan. This is my pride and joy right here. So it made for some good conversation. I didn't really see many Knicks cards for the people that brought it by, but I still enjoy talking about mine, especially like the flawless cards. There were a lot of questions about the booklet that was there.
Okay. Yeah, I see it on the bottom. The one that spells out Knicks.
Yeah. So it was fun. It was cool. Having said it, talking about Knicks, though, let me tell you who the hottest name in the room was, card-wise, is Jalen Brunson.
Really?
Yeah. Jalen Brunson cards were flying.
No way. That is awesome.
Wait,
so you had your patches though there, right?
I had all my best Knicks stuff out on display on top of my inventory. So underneath my Knicks stuff was my baseball, basketball, football. On the other side was all of my soccer. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, Carmine, I've been re-strategizing for the last couple months, buying different stuff, Hall of Fame autographs, and it worked.
That's great.
Yeah, it worked. I made. Okay. We'll get into some values, but the showcase event was from 2 to 6, 4 hours. In that time, I made 15 transactions. That is one transaction every 16 minutes.
Okay.
Busy. Really cool. I got to set up next to Wiz.
Yep.
As we know, Wiz changed his Instagram name, so it's not Wiz the Collector anymore. It's like King Wiz. But I got to hang out with Wiz, who was a guest on our podcast. How cool is that? I'm chilling next to him for a few hours. We'll see him in Atlanta for Culture Collision.
Yep. I heard we're getting wings. We're getting wings.
We're getting wings. Where they're from, I don't know. We'll figure that part out.
Yeah, we'll have to cover that in the vlog.
Yeah. But my wife stopped by, so it was pretty awesome that there's my wife and her sister at this Bleecker event, just, supporting me.
Yeah.
She meets Wiz, who's like, here he was a few months ago, a guest on our podcast. Now he's standing across from my wife, meeting. So I enjoyed my wife getting to see me in my element around and meeting other of my hobby friends.
Now, was it because I know she's such a faithful listener of Crosstown Cardboard? Did she have a lot of ammo? Did Wiz feel like she already knew him? I mean, because, she follows every episode from.
Yeah, she definitely does not. Yeah. But
okay, that is great that she supported you though. Seriously. And that was she was in the coffee shop, and was that the same sister who was in the coffee shop when you made the Denver deal?
Yes.
So they're along for the card journey.
There you go. So I don't know if there's anything else I could speak on the event itself. I heard the store, Bleecker, like it was a successful day for me. They said it was a good day for them. So everyone wins, everyone's happy. There's pizza there for anyone that walks in. So like I said, the hospitality there is always bar none. You can't do these events all the time, right? It loses a little bit of pizzazz. And of course, it costs money to put on an event. But the idea of creating this event in a popular neighborhood that isn't like heavy cards, there's a few showcases, but at least to show the public and any other card collectors who come in, like, look at this fun social space that we have. Like, yes, we sell cards, but come hang, just come kick it.
Yeah. I think that's a great model for a card showcase spectacular or a card shop in general as being a place, a safe space. People feel comfortable. They can express themselves, be themselves, enjoy the hobby together, make some friends, talk sports. That sounds great. I wish I could have been there. I feel like that would have been a perfect, environment for me. I feel like I really would have enjoyed that. But tell me some of the conversations you got into around the Knicks. Any like things that stick out, not just about the cards, but any stories that led to?
About the Knicks cards, not really. The conversation and the banter was just happening all day. Maybe not specifically about the Knicks stuff, but I
Okay.
definitely have some highlights here.
Oh, here we go.
Should we talk? Let's talk cards.
Oh,
Let's talk cards.
yes. Oh, good. Finally, we're getting to some cards.
Yeah, I feel like it really wasn't a card-centric episode.
No, it
Well,
was.
You did.
I'm kidding. We showed off a lot of cards. All our pickups.
So I'm going through all my pickups. I'm going to try to find the significant ones.
Okay.
So this one, meh. I sold a Draymond Green patch. I sold a Draymond Green patch along with the Doc Gooden autograph. The Draymond Green patch was cool because it had the RR from Warriors. But
yes, you showed that one on the show recently.
If anyone wants to buy a Draymond Green patch from me, like at this point, go for it. But you'll see like how New York is a melting pot. You'll see how a lot of these stories really embodies that. So the person who bought the Draymond Green patch is a Michigan State alumni. So like, oh, this is perfect. Obviously, this card's for you.
And obviously, great news of him clocking Nurkic to get Draymond back into the public eye. No, I'm just kidding. But that was right on brand though.
There you go. So I had an Iverson 3-color jersey card, and there was a young kid that came over. He really, really liked it. And we ended up coming at this was a fun trade. He traded me $55 cash and this Jalen Brunson shadow box on-card autograph from Immaculate 2021-22.
Nice.
Yeah, cool card. On-card autograph, SGC 910. For my collection, I need Brunson in his Knicks uniform. For my inventory, what I like to be out on my table, I will take Mavericks.
I like that distinction. Bro, let's we were texting. Let's just do a Jalen Brunson because you mentioned he was the talk of the show. When I saw that he was going toward 50 points recently in that primetime game against the Suns on ESPN, national TV, this guy was unbelievable. 9 for 9 from 3. And I texted you when he was at 47. I'm like, he's about to do it. And then I was like, I don't know if you're up right now, but are you watching this game? And you hit me back. And as he made his 50, like as the ball went through the net, my phone buzzed and it was, another text from you saying, he got it. So we talked about him. We went through some of his stats in the last episode. And then, he got the Crosstown Cardboard boost, turned in a 50 ball, a career high. And I think that he should come on the show.
He should. So if you're hearing this, Jalen, come on, open invite for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the kid really liked the Iverson. I'm like, yeah, I'll take a Brunson autograph. So I got a little cash too. We move on. The next deal. All right. So I got a friend in the hobby, Bob. He's seventh inning stretch collectibles. I hope I'm getting 7th_inning_stretch_Rockaway. He is a principal at a middle school in Rockaway. He actually knows my principal, and he has been a card club donator this year. He's donated some wax and some singles. Great guy,
Bob. That's
great guy, Bob.
Bob,
the listener of our podcast and Sports Card Lessons. Shout out to Ken. So I saw Bob last week at Hofstra where I met him for the first time. He was also able to connect with Ken. So it's nice to connect, all our friends together.
That's great.
Bob messaged me on Friday. He really liked that Aaron Judge that I got from the classroom, the triple threads, triple auto jersey.
Okay, from Thursday.
And he offered me, he shot me a text and he offered me, he said, I really like that Judge autograph. He said, what do you have it at? I said, I have it at 500 or best offer, which was very reasonable if you look at a couple of comps. He said, I will give you 400 cash, a hobby box of 2021 Top Series 2 baseball, and a 2022 Topps holiday box. I said, that sounds pretty good. Come on Saturday, a Bleecker, bring the stuff. I'm sure we could work something out. So after a small back and forth, I'm like, Bob, I wasn't even going to counter anything you said. Like, you've been a great guy to me. You've helped out Card Club. You've just been a good person. Like, I'm not even going to come out with a counter. Like, I will accept your offer.
Great.
So he got the card he wanted. The Topps holiday box, that's going directly back to Card Club. And he also threw in like an older 2021 Top Series 2 baseball box, which I just put out at my table for $50, figuring someone might want that for the holidays. 10 minutes later, a guy comes by. We're talking. He's like, oh, would you do $38 for that box? I'd really like to open a box with my son for the holidays. I'm like, go for it. Take it for
38 was his offer?
Yeah, that's how much cash he had on him. But I didn't mind because he's going to open
get these 38 offer and a 36 offer earlier. These guys are really
it is a little obscure.
Counting it by the dollar.
But the point was, if he traded, Bob got his judge. He gave me 400 in the box, and then I sold the box. I basically got sold the judge for 438. I bought the whole lot from Andrew for 560. As I said, I had a feeling the judge would pay for most of the lot.
Wow. And that is how you connect the hobby dots right there.
Fun card I bought. And this card is actually going to charity for meningitis research. You can't make this up.
Okay.
Someone came over. He told me that nice guy. I wish I remember his name, but 2009, 2010, Panini Studio, Steph Curry rookie jersey card. And I was shocked when I know you saw this already. I was shocked when I saw this. Game worn.
Wow. That's cool.
Game worn and rookie year Steph Curry jersey.
Yeah, because usually rookie year, it's kind of a toss-up if it's going to be game worn because they don't have, jerseys to put in the cards yet.
And I bought so many Curry cards in 2009, and I thought I was so slick selling them in 2015 when they won their first championship. I'm selling at the hype right now. I have like Court Kings, Elite, rookie autographs. They'd be worth so much more now. So to be able to add this back to my Curry collection, it kind of, in a really small way, might make up for all the ones that I sold back in the day.
Is that a PC card now?
People were asking about it. I don't really want to sell it.
That's cool.
I want it to be for the PC.
That's a cool card. Rookie jersey and game worn. I mean, and it doesn't break the bank to add it to your PC, which I like too. Similar to the Clyde.
And it's going to charity.
And it's going to charity.
By the way, it's going to be maybe our longest episode ever, but we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great episode. I'm actually thinking we could go on for much longer, but we won't go on for too much longer. But I like our long episodes. We get to go back and forth. Plus, you had these 2 trips to Bleecker, 1 trip to the classroom. I went to a card show. We could have called this episode "We've Been Busy" or "We've been getting busy." We've been getting busy,
which we have been. The episode holds true. Our episodes are evergreen.
Right.
But paid $250. There was a BGS 9 comp for $360 and a raw comp before that for $280. You're getting a Curry rookie like that under comps. Take that. Yes, sir.
That's very fair.
Finally sold the Mellow Thunder patch.
Okay. Yeah. You had been looking to shop. What was that? Flawless 3 or 4 colors?
National Treasures.
National Treasures. That was a big patch.
More or less broke even, but I also had a Derek Lively autograph in his Duke uniform. And the person who came, this is what I mean about the New York. You get people from all over. We had the Michigan State alumni. This guy was a Duke alumni. So for him to pick up the Derek Lively autograph in the Duke uniform, happy to make that happen for him. Sold my other Ichiro from the Denver trip.
Oh, okay.
So I was able to flip those Ichiros both for 35% profit.
Wow, 35% profit. Good for you, bro.
There was a young kid there named Miles. This kid was sharp, but like a nice kid. Really nice kid who was there with his dad. He bought a soccer card for me for $90. This kid is a serious soccer player. Like, I know the level that he plays at. He's 13 years old. So look out for Miles. Good kid. Good player. Sharp with the cards. Guy came over to me a little bit after that. He looked at the Ozzie Smith on-card autograph that I had in my showcase. He said, how much? That card came from the Aaron Judge lot. So I'm like, I'm here to give people good deals. I said, $30. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. What were you expecting me to say? He's like, I don't know, maybe like $100. I'm like, no, take it for 30. I'm like, but why do you like that card? And he said, well, my dad always talks about how great of a player Ozzie Smith was and how much he enjoyed watching him play. I'm like, so this card's going to your dad? I'm happy to give you a good deal. Perfect.
Wow, great.
You love to see that.
Good for you.
My buddy Andrew came by with his daughter. Not Andrew. Sorry. Ben. Ben came by with his daughter. Ben is the one that sold me the Erling Haaland red refractor for my 30th birthday.
Oh yeah, was that the PSA 10? Oh,
Yes,
it's
it
no,
was.
no, it was raw, and then you
It was
submitted
raw.
it, right?
Great guy, Ben. He came in from Jersey with his daughter. He was trying to sell off some cards because he had recently picked up his own grail. So I picked up a 13-14 National Treasures Chris Mullen on card autograph
Oh,
game worn jersey.
Chris Mullen, St. John's finest, also.
And former across the street neighbor for my cousins in Sagaponack.
And by the way, Dream Team member, run TMC on the Warriors. Great, great, big three there with also Tim Hardaway, senior, and Mitch Richmond.
St. John's alumni, which my dad went to St. John's. So that's a sweet card. Dude, I paid $28 for this.
That's cool. 28. What?
$28. The amount, bro. The amount.
What the heck? What is this? A new trend in the hobby that we're discovering here? We
Even
got
numbers,
36.
even numbers are over with.
36, 28, and 38. So is that like a surprise factor? People are like, oh, they're like so caught off guard because you said 38. Now they just have to accept.
Yeah, I guess
I'm gonna start using that. I'm gonna go with the sevens though. 27. I'm gonna offer 27.
27.50.
Yeah. Meet in the middle.
This was a pretty random trade. I traded somebody a Bernie Williams autograph card that came from that lot from the classroom plus $90, and I ended up with a 2020 Topps Heritage Shohei Ohtani Chrome in a PSA 8 numbered out of 999 and a Bobby Witt 2020 Topps Heritage Minor League on-card autograph. Listen, Carmine, listen to me. Listen to me. I've been diversifying my collection here.
What that tells me is you need stuff is what getting that tells me.
If the people want baseball,
yeah,
I'm gonna get baseball that I think is cool.
Yeah, and you got the $700 million man right there also.
Bobby Witt, he's still a stud. Shohei Ohtani Chrome, and I know he's a stud because one of my card club members was there the whole time. He actually was able to set up himself a little bit, and he's my baseball expert.
Okay. There you go.
What else? All right, there were two kids there, right? There were two kids there. One of them I sold a Jalen Brunson rookie card to.
Yeah.
10 minutes later, he's literally standing on my table, making a trade with another kid, trading the card that I just sold to him.
Hustle. The hustle.
And these kids, man, I swear, these kids. This Damien, this guy Damien, oh my God. 14 years old. He's on Instagram. I got to give this kid a lot of credit. He's really slick.
Okay. Did he dupe you?
No, he's just GOAT_kicks_N_cards. This guy Damien pulls up, bro, in a puffy pink jacket. He's got his pink Beat headphones over here, slick hair. It's like, but where's your parent? He's grew up in New York City, 3 or 4 older brothers, goes to boarding school, just to paint the picture for you. But anyway, this kid was really sharp with his cards. He was making deals all day long.
Okay.
At one point, you can't make this up, Wiz was next to me with a Kanye graduation signed CD. And we got this 9th grader over here interested in that. 10 minutes later, this guy gets on the phone with his mother. And this kid, Damien's mother, is on the phone with Wiz so she could Zelle Wiz the money for this Kanye CD. I'm like, what is going on here?
Is that what they do in the West Village? They call in reinforcements. There's like, I'm going to phone a friend. I'm going to get this wired over to you.
It was a scene, but I credit the kid for being like cultural enough to understand the item he was looking at. We got the mom on the phone. We got Wiz just flew in from Atlanta. He just pulls up on it. What a scene!
So this kid's in a pink. He's in a pink puffer jacket with pink Beats headphones, and he's like, "Talk to my mom."
Yeah.
Okay. That's funny. That's a funny scene. Okay, but shout out Damien. Shout out Damien.
I made and he was there doing deals with the store, so we made a fun trade. I had my Jalen Brunson Contenders rookie autograph that I picked up from Hofstra, and the Brunson stuff's flying, man. So he really liked that one. He had 2 cards that I really liked, so I gave him the Brunson Contenders auto that was in the BGS 8.5. I also gave him $200.
Okay,
and I picked up this 2021 Stadium Club. I gotta be honest, I don't really know the player. I know who the player is, but it's a Super Fractor rookie autograph, and I just think the photography on this card is so cool. Sam Huff.
Okay. Interesting. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I could see he's a catcher, but that's all I could tell you about him.
The comps made sense. And then I also got this card, which I actually really love. 2021, which is Shohei Otani's MVP year. Topps Chrome True Gold Refractor out of 50.
Ooh, now that's cool.
Yeah, this is a nice
That's
card.
primo guy, obviously
True
richest
Gold.
contract ever in MLB history, and then gold numbered out of 50.
Yep.
I think I understand. The one of one rookie autograph. I mean, if the comps make sense, you're preparing for the shows. You're in semi flip mode, with that side of the hobby. So if you think it's smart, then I'm sure it's smart.
I was having fun. I think my wife and my sister-in-law were there when that deal went down, so it was really fun to see that happen. For them to see me shaking hands with this kid Damien over his deal.
Right.
My sister-in-law couldn't get enough of him. So yeah, man, it was an action-packed day. The show ended. I stayed late, hanging out with Adam Schraman, Jake, and just hanging. It is a social club after all, and we're late. We're talking cards, business. It's good stuff, man. It was good vibes.
That's great. That's great, bro. Good vibes from the field trip Wednesday, the classroom Thursday, your showcase Saturday, and my show Saturday. And all that is a week at Bleecker in your world and a week in the upstate in my world. And I feel like, we definitely went longer on this episode for sure, but also we packed a lot into it. I mean, it was cards, it was, conversation, it was philosophy, it was, everything wrapped into one. So hopefully, if you stayed with us for this long, you got something out of it, or at least, some entertainment from our journey and, laughing at us, with us, and just enjoying the hobby and maybe taking something into your own hobby journey. And if you, comment, like, subscribe, rate, review, let us know, your takes on the hobby, because we're, the learning never stops, to reference another Crosstown Cardboard episode. So thanks everyone for listening to a longer episode here, but we had a lot to talk about, lots of cool card things, or should I say card stuff? I mean, let's stick with the theme. But Craig, anything else before we wrap up from you?
No, exciting few episodes coming up. Good guests coming up. That's it. Next time we speak, I'll be in Miami. Hopefully, I have visited the Loop card shop by then, because we'd love to travel. Obviously, when we go to shops when we travel.
Yep.
But yeah, good card action. I got to get my mind back into teaching mode since we're recording this Sunday night. You keep doing your thing. I see you crushing it.
Thanks, bro. I'm trying my best. Just to preview those next few episodes you mentioned coming up. Episode 67, we're going to talk about the Hobby Awards, the yearly awards. We're going to have to, you suggested a bunch of good categories. We're going to have to, see maybe maybe 5 or so we want to do, best flip, best PC edition, best card story of the year, stuff like that. And then, so that's going to be 67, the Hobby Awards. Episode 68, which would be the first episode of the new year, will be your hobby analytics. We're going to go through a bunch of your purchase numbers, your sale numbers, the percentage profit, like you mentioned with the Ichiro 35%. We're going to break down the math teacher elements. We're going to really dive into the numbers on that for you, because I haven't followed mine as closely or been nearly as active. And then hopefully soon after that, we'll get another guest on and have an interesting story. Don't want to give away too much, but I think that's just a little roadmap for our future there.
That's an hour plus of card talk. I'm going to go get some sleep.
All right, bro. Sounds good. I enjoyed the card talk and the card listening as well.
Boom. Peace.